Hey, it's me. I predicted that. Remember I was saying that? But you didn't believe me. My mom doesn't, I think... Well, I didn't think it was up. Is it up to my mother? Well, I know she just doesn't want anything to do with Marion, so she just lumped everyone together and said there's not going to be any meeting. I don't want to see anybody. That's what she said to me. Can you try? I've called her. She's called my mother before when I was living with my mom, and I've called her later and reached her than this time at 4. Did you think it was later? No, it's 4 o'clock right now. She might still be there. Oh, she said she would try you again before she left for the day. No, it's only 4. That's why I waited till the last minute before calling you to see what was going on. Because I wanted to know no matter what you heard, I wanted to hear from you, so. Yeah. Yeah. I know. Well, if you were going at that, that's going to take a big portion of your day, right? Driving there and... Oh, okay. How long will it take you to get there? Well, I was going to tell you, See, I talk to her every other day, and I'm going to tell you how she feels. She's just disgusted with everything. I told you Marion called and was all Marion. She had to hang up on Marion because all Marion was doing was bad mouthing me. And my mom said, "Don't you say that about my daughter. I love her," you know, and hung up on her. So, and plus the day before Marion called and said all that, my mom had a meeting with her doctors in there, and it didn't go well. So she's just disgusted with everything. And Marion had said there's going to be a family meeting, and I'm assuming that was supposed to be. My mom was assuming that's the one with you. And when last time I talked to my mom, I don't want to see. There's not going to be any meeting. I don't want to see anybody. You know. Well, I was going to tell you at the very least whether I can go or not. If you would, I mean, I don't know if my mom's considered to be in sound mind, but if she's having a meeting, can you at least have Mary bring a release for my mom to sign? Because she always says, well, I don't have a, you know what I mean? This has to change, regardless, as I've said repeatedly, screw, fuck, the thing with I know my mom, you know what my mom wanted. She doesn't, and she will say it now, even in between her talking to the gods and whatever, you know, she doesn't want to have anything to do with Marion. She wants to get rid of all this stuff she wants to do, right? But forget about that. Just make it so that Marion can never shut me out again. Just in case my mom is transferred somewhere else or something. I don't want to be in that same position again. You know what I mean? But tell her, you need to be my voice, Cheryl. You have to that I cannot be shut out again, period. My mother doesn't want me shut out. But Marion does. All Marion does is Marion calls my mom once when she's been in there like 2 weeks just to badmouth me. I said, why'd you talk to her? Well, I wanted to see what she had to say, and all she had to say was bad things about you. And it's the same old bad things. It's not anything new. I haven't contacted Marion, I haven't written to her, I haven't done anything. So it's the old things. You know what I mean? It's just to fuck with my mom's mind, and as usual, you know, she told her, my mom, I'm the reason my mom's in there, you know. No, I know. It's fucked. It's just ridiculous, so. Well, do you don't think she'll call you today? Is there a rule that you have to call me from there? Can you just call me from your house or something? Oh. Well, at the very least, you'd know early in the morning, right? I know, I'm just being funny. I'm just being like you. This is like down to I thought for sure we'd know one way or the other right now, you know? Well, I shocked you with what my mom's been saying. I don't want any meeting with anybody because I think she thinks that it has to be with Marion or nobody, and Marion has to be involved. She doesn't want to see Marion, so she just said, I don't want to see anybody. Yeah, she's fed up with being in there and seeing other people go home, and she's in, you know, and everything, and yeah. No, she hasn't I told you what happened when I met with her. I cried the entire time. That was just less than a week ago. Last Saturday. Okay. I don't know, you could try. Maybe she thinks it's too late that you've already left. Because I didn't know when you leave. So maybe you could just try her again. But in any case, if you can't call me today, call me first thing tomorrow morning. It's kind of too late for me, you know. If I was going to go, I'd have to know already. That's the thing. But in any case, you can be my voice. make sure she brings the damn release. At the very least, I want to be so I cannot be shut out. Period. And I know that's what my mom wants. My mom wants more than that. My mom wants Marion out of the picture, you know, but Marion will just say, oh, that's because she's sick. You know, that's what Marion says. Like you said, they act like my mom can't think for herself, and she only wants, and I'm the one who influences my mom in regards to everything, and my mom wouldn't feel that way if I just was out of the picture, you know. Okay, all right, bye. Well, I cleaned the downstairs cabinets in the kitchen where all the pans and plastic containers were all just thrown in there. Rather just straighten them all out, I actually took them all out and scrubbed down the cabinets. I know, it took me hours, a couple hours probably. It didn't even hit 50. It was supposed to be 50 to 55. It didn't even hit 50. But it's close enough. I should probably walk to the store. I ran out of steam. Everything's on the table. I'm going to tell him I cleaned for hours today, but I ran out of steam. So if you need to find a pan to cook or something, just carefully take it off of the dining room table. Omar went poo-poo outside twice today. That was it's cause for celebration. I wanted something different today, so I'll probably have my soup for dinner. I had a can of green beans, a can of Amy's Thai coconut soup that's really good, and today I have also a can of black beans, so I won't be eating it all because I also had an Amy's Indian organic frozen dinner. So soup will last me for the next 3 days. I still need to get something to black out so it's nice and dark. It's very important to sleep in the dark, but I blacked it out pretty good with the sheets last night, and that was not something else to rejoice about. I slept, Omar and I slept. I didn't even get up to go to the bathroom. I slept 10 to 5:30. 10 o'clock last night to 5:30 a.m. Then I was watching the news. They had on the news about that woman who on her honeymoon pushed her brand new husband over a cliff. On the news, she said it was because he said he had reservations about marrying her. She pushed him over a cliff. And they're trying to get a life sentence for her. She pushed her brand new husband over a cliff. I really, really think deeply about these things because that's the kind of mind I've always had. Not just a short time before, whether it was a day or two, maybe, I forget the exact, maybe it was the same day, I don't know, or the next day, but she was in front of a judge, whether it was in a church in front of all her family, or whether it was whatever it was, whether it was a huge wedding, whether it was anything, doesn't really matter. She was in front of a judge, declaring her love for this guy. Saying she wanted to spend the rest of her life with him. Would she have ever even imagined in a million years, well, a couple days from now, or a day from now, or hours from now, I'm going to kill him? No. And that is why I go back to my other video, what I've adamantly expressed forever. Even recently when I was with Joe, I brought up the same old thing. Because he quotes, he's not that kind of religious, although he used to be. But he does still quote the Bible and stuff, just in reference to, you know, even if you don't take it literally, it has to look at what they say. And I still brought up the thing, well, it says that we also discussed the sex thing and the homosexuality thing, and he's, you know, that causes a lot of people to have reservations about taking the Bible literally. But the thing where a thought is the same as an action, never cared for that one, never thought that was just absolutely ridiculous. But back to this woman, she's not even, she's a killer. But she's not even remotely the same type of killer as probably even Jodi Arias, but definitely not of any kind of serial killer. What she did was have some kind of, she acted on an impulse. And that's another reason why I say thoughts are not actions. People can think all kinds of things, especially if they're angry, okay? I used the example of that guy who, he was a nice guy. He didn't, when I said we were making out, it was just kissing for hours. I didn't even touch him because, you know, I was a virgin and I knew I didn't want to get him worked up and have him try to do something to me, you know. And he just, you know, touched me a little bit above, but nothing, it was pretty innocent as far as that goes. But he looked right at me because he was hot and bothered, and he's like, I can see why guys rape women, you know. And I'm like, you know. But he didn't do it. This brand new bride who had pushed her husband over a cliff. Do you think she knows why? No. She said it was an impulse, and without thinking of the consequences, she acted on the impulse. Gavin DeBecker talks about in his Gift of Fear book. And he said this woman is now a top official in the government or in politics or whatnot, but she could have just as easily been rotting away in jail. She was furious with her boyfriend, and she told Gavin DeBecker this. He didn't reveal her name, of course, in his book. He's not going to do that. But he just said, suffice to say that anybody can kill, anyone can have the thought. You have to be able to control your own mind, your own actions. You have to be able to think of consequences, okay? He said she was furious with him, her boyfriend, whatever he had done to her. Maybe he had cheated, who knows what he had done. But she was furious with him. She saw him walking, and she actually sped up her car trying to hit him. And Gavin DeBecker said it just so happened she missed him or whatever, but she confessed to Gavin DeBecker, if I had hit him, if I was going however 100 miles an hour, I would have killed him, and I would have been in jail, and I would have been, an impulse. She got lucky. This woman did not. I would imagine she has no idea why she pushed her husband over a cliff. This is not a case where she had been living with him and found out he cheated on her, and blah, 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 whatever. She pushed him over a cliff days after they got married. I don't know. They were on their honeymoon. How could she do that? We don't know. That ex-cop, the popcorn defense guy whose name I can't remember, because it's not my top priority to remember his name. He was enraged. He acted on impulse. He blew the guy away. The guy's dead, a husband and a father to a 3-year-old little girl. He acted on impulse without thinking, the same as the woman who pushed her husband over a cliff, her brand new husband. The same as that guy I told you about recently a few months ago. Road rage or something. He was mad at the car in front. He was trying to hit them, and they're on the phone saying there's this crazy guy in back of us speeding up real bad, trying to hit us. All of a sudden he goes into the other lane, head-on traffic. A 20-year-old girl and her passengers were coming this way. They never had a chance. It was a blind spot. He was going 70 miles an hour, and he was married, and he went head-on to them. He's dead instantly. She's dead instantly. The driver and the other 2 passengers, they lived. Can't ask him why he did it, can we? And what do we get out of this wife? She doesn't know why she did it. I know she doesn't. She acted on an impulse. So no, thoughts are not, I don't care what the fucking Bible says, thoughts are not the same as actions. You have a thought to do something, you have to think about the consequences, period. Dostoevsky in Crime and Punishment. I read that at least once, probably knowing me back then. I mean, it was 20 years ago in college, but probably read it more than once. It was from either one of my philosophy classes or one of my English classes. It was probably one of my philosophy classes. Crime and Punishment. The lead character had an impulse to bludgeon to death these 2 women, and he acted on the impulse. And after he did, he actually, I think, if I remember correctly, he was going to get away with it. But his guilt overtook him, and he wound up confessing at some point, I believe. But it was an impulse that he acted on. And after he did it, he couldn't believe he'd done it. I don't know. There can be right now is going to be a spoiler for the movie, the awesome fucking movie that anything I ever list as your favorite movies, when they have those things like, what's your favorite movie, when they have online things you fill out, profiles, whatever, American History X. So, If you haven't seen it or you plan on seeing it or not, don't watch this. Probably it's going to be a spoiler. He didn't plan to do it, but he was a skinhead, and he wound up brutally murdering by oh my God, think about what he did. He stepped on the guys. He made the guy put his teeth down on the sidewalk, and then he smashed his head with his boot. Okay, but whatever. He killed the guy. Went to jail. Black guy in jail. I'm sorry, the African American guy in jail. And the guy he killed was African American. He's a skinhead, remember. Befriended him. They did laundry together. They did this. They did that. This wasn't a true story. I don't think. I don't know. It was a good story anyway. I watched it many, many years ago. Good movie. He befriended him in there. Did he know what his crime was? Probably. I don't know. And of course, the guy was like, he's a skinny, get away from me, whatever. But they wound up becoming, I don't know, I can't remember. I've seen too many movies. They wound up becoming probably not best friends, whatever. But he changed the skinhead anyway. The skinhead got out. He served his time. Okay, he served his time for his crime. I think he was in jail like 5 years or something. He served his time.